hopefully in a little while. And to Millie and Peter Peterson's son, we hope that he will be reunited with them shortly. All right, Nina Pineda reporting for us in Teterboro. Thanks, Nina. We're going to now head to Phil Lipoff. He is in Long Branch. And Phil, you're in an area that's suffered extensive damage.
Liz, I am, and this is a great example of that. We weren't even looking for this. We were on our way to a marina that was pretty hard hit, and we saw this and had to set up the live truck to bring this to our viewers. Look at this. Look at the size of this tree that was literally torn out of the ground, ripped through the sidewalk, landed on top of this house. Now, in some cases, we see big trees like this land on a house, and the house gets lucky. It lands on a side where a branch isn't particularly strong, but that branch that you see there that sunk right through the middle of the roof is sort of like bent like an elbow, and it just did like a body slam on top of this house. The good news I can tell you is that these people are not home. They left in preparation for the storm. But I want to point something out. I remember in our coverage leading up to this, when Lee Goldberg was talking about the potential danger of trees coming down, this is the exact scenario that he was talking about. Look at all the water under here, okay? What happened in this street, and by the way, this is not a flood-prone area, it filled up with about 2 to 3 feet of water. You can still see the water underneath there. It saturated the roots, and then these big wind gusts came down. I'm told that it was about 2:30 in the morning. A couple big wind gusts hit this thing. The water had saturated the roots, and the tree just came down. It crushed the roof. This is going to be tens of thousands of dollars worth of damage. This area is not a flood-prone area. This is Atlantic Ave in Long Branch. It is not a flood-prone area. I talked to people who lived here for a long time who said this just doesn't happen, but the water overwhelmed this area. It was up to about where you get into the door of a car. It was up to about there, and it did this to this tree. I talked to a man who lives about 2 doors down who talks about this area. Listen, have you ever seen it like this?
Never.
So this isn't one of those flood-prone areas?
No, it's
not. This is highly unusual.
Yes. It's usually safe here. Not this time. Sandy did us in.
Oh, here we come. Yeah, Sandy did do this area in, and just I want you to take a look at one more time. It gives you an idea of how big this tree is, how big the roots are, and then if you look up here, how much damage it has done to this house. Thankfully, these people are not home. I'm not sure if they know yet. If one of their neighbors have called them, I'll check on that. But the good news is no one is home. Everybody's stopping and taking pictures, obviously, because you don't see this hardly ever. But traffic is moving slowly on this street. This is Atlantic Ave. It's a major Ave here in Long Branch. But we had to stop and show you this picture, the sheer power of the storm and the exact scenario that Lee Goldberg was talking about as we moved in to the worst of it. Guys, back to you.
That must have been some gust of wind to take down that tree like that. And, you know, it's not the wind, it's the water in this area. Earlier this afternoon, the governor was talking about some of the coastal communities being still underwater. And you're driving around. Have you seen, is the water receding out of those areas, or there's still some communities that, from what you can tell, underwater still?
Well, David, you know this area well. So you know Pier Village over on the water. The ocean overtook that village and went all the way out onto Ocean, I think it's Ocean Boulevard or Ocean Drive. I'm not sure which ones, but that has all receded.
Okay.
Once the ocean went back, the water went back. Then there were other problems. The Shrewsbury River. We did some live shots late last night at this area where these homes were flooded out, and it was probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5 feet of water in this area. We passed that area today, and that has receded as well. So you see water like this on the sides of streets.
Right.
But no major flooded out areas right now. It's just the damage that water and the wind gusts on top of it caused that we're dealing with in Long Branch.
All right, well, at least the waters are started to recede in those areas. All right, Phil Lipoff, we appreciate it. We're going to head now to the Bronx and to City Island, where Josh Einiger has been for us all afternoon. And Josh, the 41,000 people at least without power in that area. And you've been showing us some of the most dramatic pictures of a very well-known and beloved restaurant that just burnt to the ground last night.
Yeah, this place is so filled with institutions, Liz, restaurants that people have known and where they've been dining for generations, frankly. I'll get to some of that in a second, but I do want to show you right now the sound, the bay, has really dropped dramatically in the last maybe hour or two. We are approaching low tide, I understand. And I don't know, TC, if you can show them that the side of that wall where there are still some wet marks, that's where the water was pretty much just maybe 2-3 hours ago. So this is maybe the reverse of what everybody saw here so suddenly and pretty much all over the area yesterday. We are right here, right next to a place beloved by many called Tony's Pier. It's a crab shack, an oyster bar, and there's just nothing left right here. It burned yesterday. You can see right there, look at that, the giant vent that was clearly on the roof of this building. This area, clearly the kitchen, there's some kitchen equipment and flat tops and various other refrigerators and everything that you can tell because they're made out of metal. But aside from that, everything has burned. This just burned completely to the ground last night while firefighters tried desperately to do something, but they just couldn't get close enough. The water was everywhere, and they just could not get close enough to get water on this fire. The rest of City Island Avenue, TC, if you want to just look up the sidewalk, there's a couple of trees down, and pretty much all is without power at this point. We did find on the other end of the island another beloved business that's been hit very hard by this storm. Let's show you some video there. That is the City Island Lobster, I believe it's called the City Island Lobster Company. Forgive me if I'm forgetting.
We got my big lobster sign that's on the roof. We got, a lot of water damage, a lot of docks in the back got ripped up. But nothing that we can't handle.
And coming back live right now, police actually asking us, we're live on TV right now, so just give us 1 second and we'll get off. Police asking us to get out of this area right now. There are obviously some concerns right now here because they want to secure the scene. Some people tried to board up this scene earlier today, but of course it's very difficult to board this up because there's really nothing here to board up. But David and Liz, that's what we've got here at the end of City Island Avenue. A very difficult day for everybody who's living here, living in the dark. As for the people who do live here, by the way, the NYPD has been using a bus, an MTA bus, to drive people from here. They're going basically the length of City Island Avenue, and then they are driving from here to Lehman College, to a shelter there so people can try to seek shelter. But a lot of people are in their homes, cleaning out their homes, which were very badly flooded, just like that gentleman's business was. So we'll continue to follow the story and tell stories from here, and we'll see you in a little bit. We're live in the City Island section of the Bronx. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Josh. There's another example of the many ways that this storm has hurt people. There were 24 some fires throughout the city. Another one, a fire that could not be put out because of the flooding and the storm that was there. We've got plenty of destruction to show you. We've got a picture now. Sadly, you don't have to look far. That right there, you might recognize it. That is Rye Playland, and you can see it is pretty messed up at this point. I'm trying to assess the damage, but the fencing down, a lot of wood, a lot of debris. There's the boardwalk area. I know that they had done some new work on it not too long ago, and so...
You can see a bullhorn just kind of like lying in the middle there. You can see the fence that almost looks like it was like knocked over by what would either be the water or the powerful wind gusts. We should tell you that these pictures were taken by Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis. But yeah, you were looking at pictures from Rye Playland. That is pretty substantial damage that has been happened right there.
And you can imagine it's right off Long Island Sound, so it is in jeopardy of this kind of a storm. Let's take it right now to Bay Shore, Long Island, where we have Kristen Thorne, who is keeping track of things from that point. She's at a Dunkin' Donuts, which was, I guess for a while, became the center of the community because it had power and had food.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people coming in and out all day. We have been here for hours, and there has not been a steady stream of people going in and out. And I want to talk to these girls quickly over here with their mom coming to get some food, right?
Yeah. Hi.
So what is it like at home right now?
Well, I had a lot still out, and we had headlamps last night, and we can't watch movies, so.
No movies?
A lot of trees fell down, and they fell down at our neighbor's house, and car broke, right? Like where I live, a lot of trees. Flooded. You can barely get into the house. By the lakes and bright waters, it flooded, and one of our neighbor's boats were down the street.
I know. We're going to go head there in a little bit because it is really bad. Are you scared with all this? What do you think about all this?
No.
No? Why not?
It's really windy and cold, but I'm used to it.
Yeah, you're used to it. All right. Well, thank you guys for talking to us. Mom, how are you doing?
I'm okay. We're very lucky of what happened. Yeah. Some people have had it worse, but we're very lucky.
Yeah, so just picking up
and
some...
it's fun. Great diet we have here.
There you go. I know what you mean because we've been eating out of the truck for the last 2 days. So we've been on donuts and coffee as well. Well, thank you for talking to us, and stay safe out there, okay?
Thank you.
We want to take you inside the Dunkin' Donuts. Samantha has been nice enough to let us come in. Go ahead, Pete. I'll let you guys in. So you can see the line that we have here, and this actually isn't that bad. This is actually the slowest, believe it or not, that we've seen it all day today. The line this morning was all the way out the store and all the way down the street. We're told people had to wait about an hour to get into line to get their coffee. How are you doing there?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. So what are we getting?
We're getting iced tea for my husband. I'm waiting for my coffee, and riding out the after storm. And tomorrow, I just heard that my school is closed. So I'm just going to try to take it easy and clean up the house and just make the best of a very difficult situation.
I know what's going on at your house right now.
A lot of trees in the parking lot. I live in an apartment complex. You know, not much, but just, you know, trying to stay safe and trying to, you know, we live in a complex, so we're just trying to, our neighbors are trying to help each other out.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about that. I've heard a lot of people asking each other, how you doing? Do you need any help? Have you been hearing that as well out here?
Yes, very much so. You know, my mother is a widow, so she's with my sisters. But a lot of people watching out for each other, and, you know, that's how Long Island is. You know, we're a big, great community and love living here, but I hope everybody stays safe.
Thank you so much. All right, enjoy the rest. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, creating a traffic issue here. I'm just going to go outside. Let's go back out here so that we don't create too many traffic issues in there. The manager was nice enough to allow us in there. So anyway, you're hearing from people. I know we're showing you a lot of destruction, but, you know, there are other stories like this going on as well, so we wanted to bring that to you as well. Back to you guys.
Kristen, I wanted to ask you, because Governor Cuomo was saying with that 90% of Long Island does not have power. When you talk to the people there, how are they coping? How are they doing? And the governor even said that he has so little faith in LIPA and restoring it in such a timely fashion that he's even asked the Public Service Commission to kind of oversee that to make sure that it gets done.
Well, Liz, look, I think right now people are in the stage where we've only been, less than 24 hours without power. So there is a sense now of we can also don't have power. There's just a feeling of, you know what, I'm going to get through it. I'm going to have the candles. I'm going to, you know, do what I need to do, take cold showers. We all know how that is, and just kind of get through it. If this goes on and on, we know what we're going to be talking about. So we'll have to see if that changes.
All right. Be careful with those candles. All right? Got to be careful with the candles.
The good advice.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Kristen.
Let's take you to live pictures right now over Long Branch, New Jersey. This afternoon when Governor Christie was updating everyone on the devastation and the flooding. This is what he's talked about. Absolute devastation. You can see a lot of water still in the area over that part of the barrier islands. They're cut off, most of them, from getting in and out. It's going to be a long road ahead to recover from all of this. As you can see, we just lost the signal.
Yeah, I believe it was Long Beach Island that the picture was from. Yeah, Long Beach Island. Right. We do have Ron Moreno on the phone with us from Jersey Central Power and Light. Oh, we may have just lost him. Can the control room let us know? I think we just lost him. Well, we should tell you that in New Jersey right now, there are more than 2.3 million people without power. And Governor Christie saying earlier today that not only is restoring power a priority, first and foremost with the search and rescues in many of the areas along the Jersey Shore, but also restoring power to the 2.3 million who are in the dark, and then also trying to get the PATH station up and running. But he said that is going to be a monumental task because of the fact that it's basically been flooded out. And then also New Jersey Transit, which he says will be a slightly easier task to do. That's really just dealing with some flooded tracks, removing some of the debris that is now on the tracks and blocking some bridges. But
it's almost hard to prioritize. There's so much that the state has to do first dealing rescue, and search and rescue continues, of course, but then getting just the mass transit up and getting the lives back in order is going to be a monumental task. We're trying to bring you all our coverage from every state that we can bring it to you. Let's take you to Stamford, Connecticut, where Lisa Calagrassi has been assessing the damage there.
Greenwich firefighters faced an almost impossible task, fighting a fire in the middle of a hurricane. Now, the fire broke out last night at 45 Binney Lane. This is right on the water. This was a mandatory evacuation zone, but many people chose to stay. Now, the fire was already on the second floor, pushing embers across the street. That's when two other homes caught fire. Now, fortunately, everyone got out of the homes safely. Neighbors say it was absolutely terrifying to watch, and firefighters could not get enough water on the first fire to keep it from spreading. They say it was the most difficult fire they've ever had to fight.
Due to the heavy winds and the conditions of the seawater, our fire apparatus was not able to get as close to the building as we expected to. Along with that, there were down power lines, trees, etc.
We had bags packed, and our family decided that we would wait till either the police or the fire department told us to do something. That going out was not a smart move. But yeah, we were nervous. These guys didn't sleep very well last night.
For the homeowners, the loss was devastating. There was really nothing to be salvaged. At this point, firefighters say they do not have an exact cause of the fire. In Old Greenwich, Lisa Calagrassi, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, now we're going to take you back to the live pictures of Long Beach Island. This is a very popular resort for a lot of people in the New York area, New Jersey area, obviously. There was a point where this entire area was underwater. Much of the water has receded right now. As you can see, it's caught between two bodies of water, the ocean on one side and a tributary on the other side of it. And both of them met at some point. I was looking at pictures that the Ship Bottom Fire Department had been issuing on their website, because you just couldn't get to the island at that point, so there was no other way to visibly see it. And it was dramatic. Anyone that knew the area knew that there was water and places that they had never seen before.
And the governor is saying today that he understands that there are many, many homeowners who desperately want to get to their homes to assess the damage.
Yeah. This is their first look at it right now. A lot of people that we know are thinking, I can't get there. They're looking right now live at our coverage, and you can see the sand, the beach is taken and replaces the streets.
Yeah, you really don't see any pavement there whatsoever, but the governor reiterating that it is just not safe for anyone to even be thinking about going to any of the barrier islands right now, that he was even going to be just doing an aerial tour because they didn't have any place to put his chopper down. But this will most likely be one of the places when President Obama comes tomorrow to visit the storm-ravaged areas, that this might be one of the places that he visits tomorrow. But it is just desolated right now.
The encouraging thing, and this is just from the quick look at what I'm seeing, I don't see a lot of immediate damage. Of course, when you get down there, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of it. There's plenty of sand. The cleanup here is going to be huge, and I'm guaranteeing all the basements there, and most of them don't have basements. They're all first-level kind of places. But anything that's lower level has probably got damage. If you didn't have a chance to get the TV out or any expensive furniture, likely a lot of that stuff got water damage at this point. And the best thing is, just as long as no one was hurt, and safety was, of course, the priority in this entire event.
Right, and the encouraging thing is that as we look at this, you can see one person on the road there. It looks like someone perhaps on a bike or something. Is that it looks like the waters have receded? Yeah,
well, definitely. It definitely is back. But unfortunately, what it's left in its, now that it pulled out, is not going to be easy to deal with. That you're talking about a lot of work to clear out those homes, and this is basic flood damage in some of these homes.
Right, a lot of work, not to mention there's no power to the area either right now. Heather O'Rourke has been following all the latest on all of the power outages, and she joins us right now from the newsroom with the very latest on those numbers. Heather.
Liz, David, we do have a little bit of a glimmer of a hope for New Jersey customers for PSE&G. That number dropped from 2.5 to 2.3 million customers without power, although that's not too good of a number. We have PSE&G customer service line 1-800-436-PSEG. New York City, over 600,000 customers without power. Long Island, 900,000. Westchester, approximately 180,000. Con Ed customers, you can dial 1-800-75-CON-ED. LIPA's phone number is 1-800-490-0075. In Connecticut, just under 600,000 customers without power. Connecticut Light and Power, their toll-free number 800-286-2000. United Illuminating Company 1-800-7-CALL-UI. Heather O'Rourke reporting from the Power Desk.
All right, Heather, thanks so much. We should tell you that Mayor Bloomberg has just tweeted out that he's going to have another briefing on the aftermath of Sandy around 5:45 this evening. Of course, when he does step to a podium, we're going to bring that to you. And we're going to take a quick break right now, but we're going to leave you with some pictures from Long Beach Island. We're going to be right back. Look at those dramatic shots of those boats right there.
When we switched to Fios, we got better TV, better phone, better internet.
It was like somebody took our computer, shook all the junk out of it.
We're actually getting more for our money with Fios.
It's time to get more for your money. Upgrade to Verizon Fios internet, TV, and phone with our best price online. Just $84.99 a month, guaranteed for 1 year with no annual contract.
There's at least 3 computers,
a tablet,
couple of gaming systems.
They could all be running at the same time.
We do not notice any dips.
Get TV rated #1 in customer satisfaction and get the school year off to a great start with America's fastest, most consistent, and most reliable internet.
Internet is absolutely imperative for school nowadays.
Look up this, write an essay on that. My life is greatly improved because of Fios.
Move up to Fios today for just $84.99 a month for a year. With no annual contract, there's no reason to wait.
You should totally get Fios.
Visit Verizon.com/WhyFios now and see if you qualify for a $5 Amazon gift card. There's no purchase necessary. Welcome to Life on Fios.
Minivan tests look like this, but real life looks like this. We think there's another test to consider based on a simple question. Would you buy your van again? More town and country owners do than the owners of any other minivan. We call it the test of ownership.
Now get a low-mileage lease on the 2012 Town & Country Touring for $249 a month for well-qualified lessees.
There's only one